Welcome to Oaklands Mansion, and we are here with James Manning. James, we are so excited to be in this house as part of the tour of homes. I know it's always a part of the tour of homes, and you are going to show us around today.
Yes, Michael Lynn, thank you so much for being here with us today. We can't wait to show you Oaklands Mansion decorated for Christmas.
Yes, so I know the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go over here into the library. And you know, a funny thing, James, that I just learned the other day was that with these trees on the tables, that's how it was back in the day. So that's a historic element, correct?
Yeah, they just cut down a small tree in the woods, and they weren't accustomed to big floor trees like we have today. There weren't very many commercially made Christmas ornaments. Most of the ornamentation would have been made by the family members right here off of things on the plantation. But as you can see, this one has more modern decorations on it today.
Right, and this room is, again, it's the library, and I know you were talking earlier about this beautiful bookcase.
This is arguably the best piece of furniture in the house, and it's one of about a third of the furnishings that is original to the house. The family had one on either side of the fireplace. It's made of walnut, and then it's very finely faux grained to make it look like rosewood, and it's just an exquisite piece of furniture.
Really is beautiful, in perfect condition.
It is an exceptional condition, and being faux grain, that's very important that it didn't lose its original finish.
Yes. And so, of course, the gorgeous fireplaces. That's one thing I love in all of these homes with the original fireplaces. They're just so grand and beautiful.
They were so important for heating the house, and so they're a big focal point of each room.
Yes, each room. That's really cool. So, and I love that you can still see the exposed brick in there and all of that. So this now, is this called it's called the front hall?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The front hall, which leads right into
the front parlor.
The front parlor. So let's go in here. Again, another gorgeous fireplace with this beautiful mirror that y'all had restored.
Yes.
And
a private donor just donated the funds to restore this mirror, which is original to the house, and it's been re-gilt. And you can see the seashell at the top and all these elements of nature that were very popular in the Victorians to bring inside the house and really make nature come indoors.
We've got another beautiful tree here. And so what would they use this room for? Entertaining?
This is the most important room in the house for entertaining. It's the largest and the most formal space. So you can imagine most of the family's parties, functions, both weddings and funerals would have been held here in the front parlor. And it has these large pocket doors that open up to the back parlor. The ceilings are lower back there because that's an earlier part of the house. This was actually the front parlor when it was first constructed. But today we have a double parlor, and the back portion of it functions as the dining room sometimes, and if the family is not entertaining that way, it can be converted into another living space.
So this is part of the older part of the house?
This is the first addition onto the original two-room cabin.
Okay.
So they went from having only 2 rooms to having a large parlor, a stair hall, and then a bedroom above.
Okay. And so let's go in through here. Again, part of the hallway where we're going to get into this gorgeous staircase, and we've got, these are some important people in some of these photos, right? Some of the family members.
Yes, these are descendants of the Maney family that owned the plantation, and these are descendants of the enslaved workers of the plantation.
Wow. Everything is so grand. So let's go upstairs because, of course, and we want to see all of the beautiful things up here, and we've got the doctor's office in here. We're not going to show that today, but if you want to come tour the mansion one day, make sure to tour the whole house because you've got the doctor's room and another bedroom. So let's check out what's upstairs. Okay, James, so here we are on the second floor. We've got a couple of bedrooms, and going into this room, this gorgeous chandelier. I know you have a story about it, so let's hear that.
Yeah, this chandelier looks very different than anything else in the house, and that's because most of the house is restored to the 1860s time period, but this chandelier came later. The Darrow family bought this house from the Maney family, and then they were traveling overseas and saw this chandelier in Venice, and George Darrow wired back for enough cattle to be sold and money wired over that he could buy it and bring it here. And it hung in the dining room at Oaklands for a few years until they built the Darrow Mansion on Main Street. The current owners donated the chandelier back to Oaklands, and so it's back home again.
That is amazing, and Venetian glass.
It's all hand blown and it's exquisite.
Wow. How fun to have it back here at Oakland's where it belongs.
It is. We're glad to have it.
So I know we want to talk about one of these bedrooms.
These are the guest bedrooms.
Okay.
So when you come for a tour, you'll get to see all the family rooms that are not as simple, that are much more simple. They're not as elegant, not as beautiful as these two rooms, but they really put the money into the guest rooms to make them fabulous for their visitors.
Okay.
This is one of only 3 mantles in the house that stayed intact during the vacancy and vandalism, and it's cast out of metal. But this is a room that has 2 beds, so you could have multiple guests stay, and it also had a door into a changing and bathing room before plumbing was added to the house.
Wow. Really beautiful. Again, those fireplaces, because the other ones are wood, and so you're saying that one's metal. Was that typical?
Most of the mantles would have been locally made, but that one was produced commercially, and it would have retained the heat during the night and radiated the heat and been very nice for the guests.
Gotcha. Well, I'm sure they love staying in here. These rooms, again, are so grand, just like everything else in the house.
This is the larger of the 2 guest rooms. It also has 2 beds. Now, they entertained quite a bit, and visitors came and went a lot. So beds were moved closer to the windows in the summertime, closer to the fireplace in the winter, and they could also take down and put up beds very quickly and easily, depending on how many guests were staying in the house.
Is it just me, or do the beds from that day look smaller? What size bed is that?
It's a standard full, so it's a little bit smaller than our queens of today. The rooms are so big and the beds are so tall, it makes them look a lot shorter.
Yeah.
And people had a lot of respiratory ailments, so they did sit in more of a propped up position than lying flat like we do today. You can imagine with all the windows and doors open in the summertime and the fields plowed, there'd been a lot of dust and dirt flying into the house, and they didn't have those great allergy pills we have today.
Well, this is beautiful. Let's come out here. I think we can have a little more light, but this is such a beautiful home, and to have it right here in Murfreesboro with all of the history and everything, it's just, I know it's always a hit on the tour of homes.
It is. It's an anchor for the Candlelight Tour of Homes, and we're really glad that you got to come and see Oaklands Mansion and some of the other houses on the virtual tour, and we hope that you'll come back and take a tour and let us tell you even more about Oaklands.
Yes, James, it's been great. Thank you so
Michael
much.
Lynn.
Welcome to another one of Murfreesboro's historic homes, the home of Michael and Doug Graves. And this is Michael Graves. He is going to show us around this beautiful home. Michael, we're standing here in the foyer, so we're going to let you tell us all about this room, and then we're going to, of course, go to some of the other rooms.
The home was built approximately 1871, and we purchased the home in 2000 and started a renovation there. This is the foyer. There are several original fireplaces in the house. This is
Beautiful.
one of them in the foyer. There's 2 built-in benches. One is here behind us.
I love these benches, and these are original to the home.
They are original.
As well.
And then I make stained glass as a hobby, so you'll see around the house I have 12 different holiday-themed stained glass that I put up, and these are the 3 wreaths that I put up here.
That is really cool, and we will see those throughout the home. And you put these up just for Christmas. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then you
Thanks.
swap them back out.
We swap them back out. There's a few other holidays throughout the year we put things up.
Okay, and so we've got your fresh greenery here because we know everyone wants to see how you have it decorated for Christmas. So it's really gorgeous to come into these homes. And I know you have a funny story about this house, that it was a fraternity house back in the day and you lived here.
Right, there were several famous people in Murfreesboro that lived here, one of our mayors and some other shop owners, but it was a fraternity house for 30 years, and I actually lived here in 1987 when it was the Beta Theta Pi house. And this room that we're standing in right now was my bedroom, so we had bunk beds over here in the corner where the piano is.
That is so, but what does it feel like to you to now live in this home and have it restored so beautifully, thinking back on those days?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and I remember one day sitting here, I thought this would make a great home, and it's come to fruition finally.
You thought that back then?
I did.
That's really cool. Well, this is absolutely gorgeous, and again, another one of these beautiful original fireplaces. And every detail that y'all have done in here is just really gorgeous. So tell us about this room.
Walking into the dining room here, when it was a fraternity house, of course this was another bedroom, but we did convert it to a dining room, and you see here and another mantle, and that's bird's eye maple, which is now an extinct wood.
Okay, bird's eye maple, original to the home.
Mm-hmm.
And so did y'all light these fireplaces back then? I'm assuming they're all working.
No, they're not, unfortunately. They're all coal burning, but we don't use them anymore. Maybe one day.
Well, they do look beautiful, and the fact that the original mantles is just, I mean, you could not, like, I guess you could recreate it today, but it's so nice to keep those original touches. And so we are heading now into the kitchen and den. Is that what you call it?
I do, yes.
Okay, so another one of these beautiful fireplaces. So tell us about this room.
So this is where we hang out, basically, watch TV, movies, and of course, entertain with our kitchen over here, which we renovated again just a couple of years ago, and turned out pretty good.
So the kitchen was not in this place in the house, right?
No.
You moved it from across the house?
Correct. When we moved in, there was no kitchen, and so we created one here by knocking out a wall here, and we spent a lot of time here.
Okay. This is so gorgeous, so much light in this house. It's really, really beautiful. I would love to see pictures of when y'all first came in, because I know you said that it was kind of...
It was pretty disastrous.
a disaster. So we are walking now into the, what is this called? The
Just
formal...
a central hallway here, and then we'll go into the formal living room here on our left.
I love this hallway, especially with all the original architecture. And so we've got another beautiful fireplace and some of your gorgeous stained glass windows that you were telling us at night. So if you're in Murfreesboro on Lytle Street, you want to make sure to drive by at night and see all the windows lit up.
I will have to say, in here it says YOJ, and that's a funny story. One other year when we were on the tour, a man kept saying, whose initials are YOJ? And I kept saying, it says JOY, joy, and he couldn't get it. He couldn't understand. Finally, he just said, so there is no significance with YOJ. I was like, no.
No, sir.
Keep going.
Hilarious. So joy, it's a joyous season. That's hilarious. Okay, so tell us a little more about this room.
A lot of the artwork in here I have made. I like to be kind of crafty, so just put it together. I do play piano a little, so I play piano over here.
And we've got, this is your main Christmas tree, you told us.
Main Christmas tree here, an original 1955 TV.
That TV is really cool. Viewers, it does work. And what year did you say it was?
About 1955, I believe.
1955. All of the little touches, Michael, that you all have done in this home is impeccable.
Thank you.
And I'm so excited that y'all chose to be on the tour this year and that we can bring all the viewers into the house, since not everyone can take the tour this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was fun.
I know it was fun. So thank you for joining us on the tour of Michael and Doug Graves' home here on Lytle Street, and thank you so much. Welcome to another one of Murfreesboro's beautiful homes. We are here at the home of Lindsey and Thomas Jennings, and this is Lindsey. Thank you for having us.
Oh, well, thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor to be featured on the tour and to give back to the Oaklands Association.
Yes, so we're here in the living room, but first I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the history of this house. This is a new house, but so tell us what happened with that.
Yeah, I think we're the only new house on the tour, so it's a little bit different. There is history in this lot. In 2018, we bought this lot from Miss Mary Boffman, a wonderful woman who lives a few houses down. And we tore down the house. We got approval from historic zoning to do that because it was just beyond repair. We broke ground in May of last year. It was the pandemic and we weren't doing anything else. So in 8 months, we were finished and we moved in 2 days before Christmas, and we're just so excited to be here. But I will tell you a little bit more about the interior. So we knew when we designed the house, we love to entertain. We have family and friends over all the time. We have 4 daughters and their friends are in and out all the time. So we knew we wanted a very open floor plan. So when you walk in, you're in the party.
Yes, yes.
So with the living room, actually a last minute decision that we made with our framer is to put in the coffered ceilings, which we love that. Mm-hmm. The paint color was sort of, that was a bit risky, but we think it worked out great. And the thing that we love the most about the downstairs actually, that has to do with the upstairs, is the one thing my husband wanted was 2 staircases.
Okay, so, why is that?
Well, it's a very long and narrow lot, so it's a long and narrow house. And one thing, I don't know, he just always wanted 2 staircases, but it works so well. As a family, we watch movies, TV in here, which is great. If my husband and I are cooking, they're all right here with us. when we have company over, it never fails. We all hang out around the kitchen island.
Right, of course. And look at this beautiful big island. That has got to be so wonderful and handy.
Yes, it's wonderful. We, as a family, we try to have dinner at the dining room table, but casual breakfast, lunch, we always sit right here. But we love to cook and bake, and so it's been such a wonderful kitchen that we enjoy a lot. So, and then also over here, this was a big deal because we do like to have a lot of dinner parties. We wanted a nice long buffet where we could put the food because it is, a very, like I said, a very narrow space. So we feel like we utilized the space, the best that we possibly could, and we've been pretty happy so far.
This is perfect area for entertaining because everyone can be together, and then you can be over here and be cozy. And this is beautiful. We want to tell everyone to make sure to look out for your gorgeous lighting. I know your husband is in the lighting business, so you definitely deliver on that.
Yes, he did a wonderful job getting all this. So
it is beautiful in here. Okay, so I think right now we're going to show them out here on your patio.
Come on out.
So this is a beautiful space with the fireplace, and is nice.
We love to be out here all year round. This is our first winter here, but we've already spent so much time out here, especially when we have friends over. Thomas builds a big fire, and it's so nice and cozy. We dinner out here a lot. We've got the big screen for football games, that kind of thing. But it's, it's a small space that we're just so proud of, that we're utilizing it the best we can. So when you live downtown, you're lucky if you have a garage, and we have a garage.
Yes.
So we're just really proud of what we were able to fit on this lot. So yeah.
This is beautiful. Such a good space, and that you made it fit. You don't drive down the street and, it just jumps out at you. You just say, oh, look at that beautiful house. So I know another thing we're going to show them is this cute little powder room, and I'm seeing it for the first time too. So, this is so cute.
Polka dot powder room. And also there's some local art in there. We have 3 paintings downstairs by local artists, but there's a felt print by Bess Turner. She is a school teacher in town, but she makes all kinds of beautiful, fun felt art, and we love unique artwork, so you'll have to peek in.
That is so neat. I want to go in there and peek. That is really cool. How beautiful. And the tile on the floor, I love that.
Yep, all the polka dots.
All the dots. Okay, so we are going to bring them upstairs where the bedrooms are, so let's do that.
All righty, come on up.
All right, so here we are on the 2nd floor, and we're going to go in and take a look at your gorgeous bedroom. And tell us a little bit about this space, another one of the gorgeous, cool light fixtures.
Yeah, so really the challenge of designing the upstairs was we have 4 daughters, and we each wanted them to have their own room. So fitting 5 bedrooms upstairs, and also we wanted to have at least 2 bathrooms for them. So we have 3 bathrooms upstairs. But this is such a cozy area, it's really a quiet sanctuary from the loudness of the rest of our house. But my favorite area is the master bath.
Yes, and it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. The bathtub, and then of course our walk-in shower, but it really turned out better than we expected. So yeah, we make a lot of brash decisions, but they seem to work out.
Seem to work. I need to take on that philosophy.
Yeah, sometimes it's better.
Too long making a decision.
Yeah, go with your gut instinct.
Okay, good. One thing, where's your closet here?
So our closet's right here.
Okay.
So it's just right off the bathroom. I would show you, but I don't think that we would want that on camera. It's not totally organized.
The door is shut, so we're going to leave it shut. But I know where it is. So this is, Lindsey, this is really beautiful, and we won't go into all of the girls' rooms, but we'll just walk in here, and you've got your laundry room up here, a little study area.
Yeah, it works. It's wonderful having the laundry upstairs, but this is their little homework area. Most of them have a desk in their room too, so, and this is where they like to watch TV and movies all together, and they've got their own little Christmas tree that they decorated. So yeah, so it's been just perfect for us so far. And on top of this house, just living downtown with all these wonderful people, like some of our best friends live right behind us, and we have a door in the gate, and all our kids run in and out. Thomas's aunt and uncle live down the street. We've got great friends down East College, so we just wouldn't want to live anywhere else, and we're so grateful to be here.
Yes, it's wonderful, and that's got to be so fun with everyone just right there where you can walk down the street and see them. Again, our wonderful community that we have here in Murfreesboro. So thank you so much for showing us your home today, and I know everyone will be so excited because not everyone gets to come inside. So we get to show you the inside of these beautiful homes, so thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome to 305 North Highland, which is the office of Bill Jakes Realty. And this is Bill Jakes, and he's going to show us around his beautiful office that he has painstakingly restored to its glory. So thank you, Bill.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm anxious to show it to you.
I know. So we're here on the porch. Let's talk about this a little bit. So this was redone.
Yes, well, I most recently did the cedar on the porch. I thought that was an appropriate wood for this old of a house. The house was built in 1892, between 92 and 93, but I found out that this porch was actually changed about 1915. The old Sanborn maps show the two-dimensional layout of the houses, and if you look back at the old maps, you can tell there was a change here.
Okay.
About the same time they added plumbing to the house.
Yes.
Probably in the teens.
Right. And well, as we go inside, one thing I've always noticed is, one, these beautiful columns, but why is this like that?
Well, that's a great question. Honestly, I haven't figured it out.
Really?
I think other than just a design idea, the floating or half column thing was just something that they had came up with. I've not seen this in any other houses around the area, so it is kind of unique.
It is unique, and I've always noticed that, and I knew that you would be the person to know, so maybe one of these days we'll be able to figure it out.
I've got to keep digging.
Yes. So we're going to go inside, and we're going to come into the foyer. So you're going to tell us a little bit about how the house is laid out.
Well, this is, by style, this is called a gable front and wing house. So this gabled front up here, and then the wing of the house connected to it. So it's essentially an L shape.
Okay.
So this front foyer here with all the transoms, the tall ceilings was obviously meant for a little bit of circulation. Originally, the house was built with where Gabriel's office is. That was actually a back porch and another entrance. But when they added the bathrooms and there's little shed roof additions to the house through the years, they closed that off and made it a different room. Okay. But this essentially leads to all the other areas in the house.
Well, let's go on into this room, and you can tell us what, at one time it was used as a bedroom, but originally what would this room be used for?
Well, I think this would have been the living area or den of the house at the time. The 10-foot windows are a striking feature that the rest of the house doesn't have. And like you say, it was used as a bedroom for a long time because this house, somewhere around 1900, was turned into a rental property, and this portion of the house was separate from the rest of the house. They probably locked this door to make that happen. And then there's another door back in here in another room where they created a second entrance into the house. Okay,
so that would have been done there. So yes, these rooms are small, and I know that this little room back here with the short ceiling, it was at one time a bathroom.
It was, but instead of keeping two baths in here, when we transferred it to office use, we felt like another office was more appropriate.
And these windows, I love that you said that because they open all the way up and you can just walk right out. What a neat feature.
Yeah, a person could have just let the front porch come flow right into the room with them.
And these houses, it has so much light, so let's go on into the other room. And this is now used as your office. Again, nice and light, another fireplace, of course.
Yes, this was my favorite room in the house, so selfishly, this is the one I decided to make my office. Of course. The big bay windows, the mantle. Of course, I had to redo the tile on these, but the mantles are original to the house. And actually, a little tidbit, little secret, I've always whenever remodeling, I like to look behind the mantles to see if anybody ever dropped a coin behind the mantles. That wasn't the case here, but when I put this one back, I put an 1892 silver Morgan dollar in there for the next person who takes the mantle off.
That's so cool. And I noticed that this style of mantle, it's been in several of the homes that I've seen.
Yes, it's something sort of Victorian era. This would not have been painted originally. This would have been veneer with probably oak, quarter-sawn oak veneer around it, real showy. But through the years, wood has come and gone. So at some point, somebody decided to paint it.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, light fixtures in here were all reworked.
Okay.
These are original fixtures to the place. I rewired them and reused them.
Wow.
Try to take advantage of it all.
So these would be.
Yes, this
wow.
schoolhouse fixture here. That's one of the original ones as well.
Again, we have another gorgeous fireplace, and so this room you've got kind of like as a meeting space, but this would have been a bedroom or another living space?
Well, I think this was probably the formal dining area.
Okay.
Actually, the hardwood floors under this rug had never been finished, only the edges around it. So the room was designed to have a rug always.
And so now we're coming in, you've got your bathroom here with the little window, and here we are in the kitchen.
Yeah, so the kitchen is an original part of the structure. The bathroom and the hallway were added later. But the kitchen, of course, I upgraded it and remodeled, but actually there was a chimney hole in the ceiling. So the original structure would have had a wood stove right here in the middle of the room.
Wow.
So we didn't want to try to bring that back. We needed to move on a little more modern, you know.
Well, tell us really quickly, this is beautiful and it's so exciting, and I know the community has loved that you have redone this building. So what was it like for you to take this over?
Well, it was an interesting project. You know, I did not plan to make this my office when I bought it. I had bought it as a rental property, but it was in such disrepair. The house was sinking into the ground. So we put a lot of work into the structural part of this house. Every single room we've been in has structural piers underneath it. The whole north side of the house was jacked up 8 inches with metal I-beams put under it. So hopefully that's going to keep it around for another 100 or so years. But it was a big job, but totally worth it. I just love sitting in my office, seeing the traffic go by, occasionally get a coffee on the porch, you know, and just wave at the traffic. It's good times.
It is good times. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us and for being a part of the Tour of Homes.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Welcome to another one of Murfreesboro's beautiful homes. We're here in the home of Laura and Tim Gossett. And Laura, thank you so much for bringing us into your beautiful home.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yes, so this is on College Street and it's a cottage style home.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So we just want you to tell us about it. We're here in the living room.
Yep. So we purchased this home in December of last year. It was completely renovated by the Lynches. And we love just the fact that it's just the big front porch where we can sit out and talk to the neighbors and get to know everyone. We love the street. We love all the neighbors on the street. So we kind of came in with kind of the thought process of keeping the house somewhat traditional with a little bit of more modern touches. So with our furniture and everything, we kind of just mixed and matched leathers and fabrics and patterns and some French antique pieces that we have purchased over the years. So that's kind of our feel here in the house, just to kind of have it warm but livable.
Yes. So let's move on into the dining area here. So who's the decorator? Is it you or
me?
Okay.
So I grew up, my mother was an interior designer out of Chicago when I was growing up. So I was lucky to get some of her talents, I think.
Yes, well, you did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
We love, of course, this is for Christmas, so you've got all your beautiful Christmas decorations out and plates. And so the kitchen is beautiful, obviously. So this was redone before y'all moved in.
Correct, yes. So we love the one room where you've got your living, dining, and kitchen area all together. And so they completely did this renovation in 2017.
Now, is the floor plan the same as the original
I think it might have been a little more cut up. It wasn't completely all the way through, and I don't actually know the complete look of what it was before. I haven't seen pictures yet.
Right, we need to see those pictures.
I know.
And this is a guest bedroom.
Guest bedroom, and then a little breakfast nook, coffee area, and then we go down to the downstairs room where this was at one point a back porch and then was turned into a room. The floors change from the up area to the down area, and there's a laundry room off of this. And they added the fireplace. So it's a gas fireplace.
Okay. This is a cozy little room. I love this.
Yeah, it's great. We love to sit down here and watch TV and spend time with the dogs and just chill.
I assume that this is good for entertaining too, with all that big open area, and then you have a little cozy area here.
Yep, it's perfect. We've got 4 grandsons, so it's nice to separate each other sometimes with the adults up and the kids down. So
right. Well, speaking of up, let's see the master suite, as you call it, and we want to hear a little bit about that because I know that this is another one of the renovations that was done by the previous owner.
Yes.
So here we are in the master suite. It's beautiful, of course. So tell us about this room.
So this room is just an area where Tim and I can come and just hang out. I've got my desk here for the office. It obviously looks messier on normal days, but it's just a nice place for us to kind of enjoy life. We love to travel, so we just really wanted to create a space that was similar to when you go to a luxury hotel.
Yes.
And I think we succeeded because we love being up here. We love this open area with the furniture, and then room for the bed and TV, and then we have our master bath with a tiled shower and a huge walk-in closet, so it's perfect.
Yes. Nobody's been letting us into their closets. I think that when we come over, that's where they shove everything, but I'm sure it's great. Well, this is beautiful, so cozy, and so this was an attic of some sort?
I think it was an attic. Now, where the bed is and everything, that was actually part of the add-on.
Okay.
So the house actually stopped, I think, right through here where the stairwell was, and then they added on this extra part.
Got it.
Yep.
Well, we have another fun part of the house to check out, which is down in the basement, so we'll go check that out. So now we're going to go check out the basement, and I'm sure that having grandkids and stuff like that, this is probably a fun little area that they love to hang out in.
Yes, absolutely.
I would when I was young, I guess. Okay, the basement, watch our heads here. This is so cute. What a neat space.
It's a great space. We turned it into a workout area. It's a great space to come down, let the grandkids just kind of play and act a little crazy, and we've got a lot of storage. So this basement was actually, all these homes had dirt basements where maybe they would use a little bit for storage, but most of it was just rock and dirt. So they actually had to come down and hollow this out. So finding a home at this age to have any type of a finished basement is actually very rare. So we were really, really excited about this possibility. So yeah.
I'm glad we got to see it because, again, this is a part of your house that most people wouldn't get to see, but I know they're going to see it and say, ooh, I want to do my basement like that.
Right.
Okay, that is such a fun space. I love seeing that. I see a lot of cool basements, so that's a very cool one. Well, I love seeing these old houses, and this house was built when?
1930.
1930.
So, yep. So Jesse Beasley owned this house. For a while, it's been owned. I think there's been 4 owners or so forth, but he's probably the most well-known of the owners, and he's part of the Beasley Foundation, and he also was an artist, so he did a lot of sculpting and things like that, and I believe Oaklands actually has one of his pieces.
That's what's so fun about learning about all these old homes, and it's just a part of Murfreesboro history, and to see them done so beautifully is wonderful. So
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us into your home and for being a part of the Parade of Homes.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Welcome to another one of Murfreesboro's beautiful homes. We are here at the home of Ronnie and Cynthia Martin. Cynthia, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to share our home with you.
I'm so excited. So let's get started. We're here in the parlor, and I know there's a reason why y'all kept it this way.
Yes, there is. So our home is a traditional American four-square. It was completed in 1902, so about 120 years old.
Amazing.
And so a four-square is basically what it sounds like. There's 4 squares, and then upstairs above there's 4 more squares. And your front room, where the front door was always a parlor, a conversation room. It was where, at that time period, the men would gather after dinner. And so we wanted to keep with the time period and keep it a conversation room, so keep it a parlor. So when searching for furniture, that was kind of our goal. So it's a great room to just come and sit in and hang out in and talk about your day and all that fun stuff. So one of our favorite rooms in the house.
And we'll come in here to the dining room and tell us about this.
Okay, one thing I'll point out while we're in the dining room is our floors are all original in our home. And so as you go through, you will see all those character flaws that are there and that have been there throughout the years. And so there's one right here that's so interesting to us. Our fireplaces were coal burning fireplaces. So coal had popped out of this fireplace and burnt, kind of caught that wood on fire and burnt that. And so what an interesting feature to still keep in your home. And so it just adds great texture. We love putting one tree in here. So one of our Christmas trees, we always like to put in the dining room, and the kids have always called that their fancy tree. So our fancy tree is always in the dining room. So
how many trees do you have this year in the house?
We have 5 trees this year. So, and that's we usually have 5 trees.
Okay.
So.
Well, y'all have been busy decorating.
Yes, very busy. We'll move on into the den. This is where we spend most of our time. As you can see, it's connected to the kitchen. So it's a great room to just kind of hang around the island, watch TV, and all of us be able to be together. Our home, all of the plumbing is in the back section of our home. And as we walk through here, you can see where the floor changes a little bit. Everything from here back was added in the 1930s. The person who built the home was the Dunaway family. And then in the 30s, they added this. So anything with plumbing in our home is in the back section of our house. But again, the 4 squares, there's no plumbing. When they built it, there wasn't electricity there either. But the Cottles, Rick and Amy Cottle, who bought it in 2016, they actually are who remodeled this kitchen. And they were able to pull a few beams and even these shelves right here out of some of the original things. I think that's some of the charm of living downtown, is you can make it modern and you can kind of dress it up and add different light fixtures and change those textures to meet those modern needs that I think people want, but yet keeping that character. I think that's one just huge advantage of being able to be downtown.
There's nothing like it. You
That's
can't
right.
get that charm anywhere else.
That's right.
So now we're going to go into the beautiful master bedroom.
Absolutely. So our bedroom is the only bedroom downstairs.
Okay, and this was originally a bedroom?
This was originally a bedroom.
Okay.
Master bathroom is behind the door. Probably a really neat feature to mention in our bedroom is that sliding barn door was found by the Cottles in a hotel in Pennsylvania that was built in the 1800s, and they found that piece somewhere and brought it and added it here.
Okay, so now is it time to go upstairs to one of your favorite parts.
Absolutely, one of my favorite parts of the house.
All right, Cynthia, we are upstairs. This is so cute, and again, these floors are original, right?
Absolutely, these are original floors. They have been painted white just to kind of change up the monotony of just the darker wood all the way through.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you take the lead and show us in here. This is such a cute part of the house.
Absolutely. This is probably my favorite room up here. One, it's just a cool little nesting place for us to come up and relax. But this was the original sleeping porch.
I love this.
So you can tell they come down the stairs, and this would be the original sleeping porch. You know, when houses were built, it's amazing that 120 years ago they knew this is where the best breeze will be.
Yeah.
Or this will be the coolest spot if you want to come out. So all of these homes have what they called sleeping porches. And so this was kind of where they would come out and rest, and it was open, obviously, like a porch. And so just a great place to kind of come and chill. And then this part was added in the 30s, and it was an open, just overhang porch. And then it was later closed in. So it's just perfectly set up. Someone really knew what they were doing when they put this right here.
Okay, Cynthia, I love this area. I can see why it is one of your favorites. This
Thank
is so
you so
cute
much.
and so cozy. And let's definitely go check out your favorite part. Well, another one of your favorites, the
Yes.
backyard.
The courtyard. I can't wait to show it to you.
Love the upstairs, and this is such a cute hallway. Is this kind of thing original?
So this is not original. This was added, I think, by the Cottles.
Okay, let's go out here. I'm going to let you lead the way.
Absolutely,
to your
let's do it.
backyard oasis here.
Yes.
Okay, Cynthia, so here we are in your gorgeous little cozy courtyard, as you call it.
Yes, I do like to call it a courtyard. When you visit more urban cities, downtown areas, Charleston, New Orleans, all of their backyards are called courtyards because they're, in general, smaller lots, fenced in, lots of lush grass, mulch, sitting areas, and we, a lot of them have pools, hot tubs, but this is definitely one of our favorite places to be as a family and spend time. As far as what Ronnie and I have done with the home, this is where we have spent most of our remodeling time and structure and dollars is back here in the courtyard. So hoping to make it just a place that our friends and family enjoy coming.
It is beautiful, and I know people will really enjoy seeing this because when you were bringing your pool in, it was quite a commotion in the neighborhood.
It was a commotion when they brought the pool in. They craned it over our entire house and then dropped it back here. And our kids were home during that day, and I texted them all. I'm like, might want to go outside just in case it drops. You know, you don't want to be in the house when it's going over. So yeah, they kind of shut down the. We got teased a little bit about that. They shut down the street and then craned the pool over the house. So it's pretty neat.
The end result is beautiful, and the whole house is beautiful. Y'all done a stunning job, and I love the history.
Thank you so much. We're so glad to be a part of this and that you came by to spend some time with us and see our home. So
thank you so much, and thank you for watching.
thank you.
Welcome to another one of Murfreesboro's beautiful home. We are here at the home of Molly and Steve Poleskey and two of the three of their beautiful children. This is so fun to have the whole family here, almost the whole family. But we just want to start out and thank you so much for having us.
Well, thank you guys so much for your interest and welcome. We're so happy to share our home.
So, well, I'm going to let you start and we'll just talk about this room. So tell us about it.
Okay, well, we still call all of the rooms by the names they were given in a 1997 historic site report from the Historic Center for Historic Preservation here in Murfreesboro. And this was called the reception hall, which we just love because it sounds so grand. And that's the feeling I have when I walk in this 4-foot wide oak door. The height of the ceilings and the facing mantelpieces just make it feel like you've been well received, and so I think that sticks well.
And this is the original door?
This is the original door, original screen door, we think. And we, of course, immediately recognized the stunning woodwork that was never painted.
Wow.
Just so beautiful. So we didn't want to lose any of that.
Well, let's continue. So we're going to this room, and then we have this other beautiful room. So this is called, you said, the
reception hall.
Reception hall.
And then right off it, we have this little nook, which was called the music room. We don't have a piano or anything in there yet, but we aspire to one day. Right now, it's a kid crafting area, and it's very functional like that.
So that's what it would be. It would be a room with like a piano or something like that in it?
That's what I imagine.
Okay. And so if this is the reception hall, would this be kind of a living space? What is this room?
This one was called the library. And we do have grand plans someday to put in built-in bookshelves. For now, we call this the Schrank, which is the German word for cupboard. And we bought this when Steve and I were living in Germany prior to kids. We did some auctioning and got some pieces that we really love, and it functions very well as a TV cabinet for now too. And then off of that we have a powder room, and that was the first thing we started to decorate in the house. I bought this wallpaper before we bought anything else, and it was sort of the inspiration for all of the other color and minor design choices we made. You can take a look, it's got squirrels on it. There's kind of a joke in my family about squirrels because I grew up in an old home too in New England, and We always had squirrels getting under the eaves.
This is a great view of these beautiful windows, and I know that y'all made sure to keep these windows in their original state.
Thank you for bringing up that point. This was something we discussed because we wanted to have an energy efficient home, and old windows are oftentimes a culprit for losing either heat or air conditioning. But we found a wonderful window restorer in Harold Mercer, and he was the only person who was here every day for about a year. That was a tremendous amount of effort, and we think it's really worth it because we love these windows.
Yes, that is great. Well, that's exciting. So let's go on through here and have you tell us about this room here. Has just, I love this. When I walk in, I'm almost transformed to back in the day.
Thank you very much. Well, this is the dining room, and this is very close to what it originally looked like, except the light fixture we got at the Restore store down on MLK Boulevard. Everything else, I don't think we changed too much, but over here where we're standing now was a tremendous amount of change because, as I mentioned, the kitchen hadn't been renovated. So before we bought the house, the developer had already taken out an existing wall here. And that's kind of nice for me because as a historian, I probably would have hesitated to have made such a big change, but because it was already made for us, I could just enjoy having this big open concept space, which is so nice since we entertain and cook nowadays.
So this would have been a wall and the dining room, so they would have wanted to hide what's going on in the kitchen.
Exactly. We tried to reuse everything we found, like the wainscoting on this wall has become the beautiful cover that Dayton Brown created for the exhaust.
Did you come up with ideas like that? You were just thinking, how do we use these beautiful pieces of wood?
Yeah, they're just so gorgeous. The flowing wood grain in them and the patina on the finish. We made sure we saved everything. Yeah, that was really important to us. It's such high quality wood too.
Yes.
You cannot buy wood like this today because it's from virgin forests. So it's irreplaceable in my mind. And I wanted to show this really amazing feature. I've never seen anything like this. This pocket door goes all the way across. See you guys.
And that is original.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah. We have another set of pocket doors in the library. I would like to say one little thing about this landing area. This is all original as well, and these hat hooks, this top part is for hats. I found these these are original, but I found other ones in an antique hardware supply company and had them shipped, and we put them in our new added on coat room.
Okay, so another feature, we can go out here and show this little room, and then we'll go out on the back deck, but some of this was built on.
Yes. Okay. So this is where the original house stopped, and it was a window. We added 2 stained glass windows in the transom above this window that was moved from the dining room and above the door going out to the back porch. And then furthermore, we wanted to have a transitional space to the outdoors that we could enjoy the outdoors in 3 seasons in Tennessee. Here we are in December and it's still comfortable, and not be too bothered by mosquitoes, and have some heat, some fans, but also have a place to watch the kids playing out back. We feel like the inside of the house is a very refined craftsman look, and this is more of kind of a Western Lodge craftsman look.
Well, obviously it's perfect for families, and I was just thinking the original owners of the home that lived here would probably be thrilled to know that you took such care in renovating it so beautifully and that a young family is enjoying it now.
Oh, well, that's nice to think about.
It's so fun to see the kids around here and playing, and so thank you so much for bringing us in your home today and letting us meet your family, and we hope you enjoy watching. Thank you so much. Welcome to First Presbyterian Church, Murfreesboro, right here off of the square and on College Street. And I'm standing here with the pastor, Dr. Hinkle, and we're going to learn all about this beautiful church today. So I'm going to let you take the reins and just tell us everything that we need to know, because I know there's a lot of history with this church.
A lot to know. You know, First Presbyterian Church actually was a church before Murfreesboro was a city. Presbyterians have been gathering in what was Murphy Springs by the Discovery Center around 1810. We were actually organized in 1812, but have been on this site since 1867. Our first church was on Vine Street by the historic old cemetery, and we came here after the war between the states, which we can get into that in a few seconds. Yeah.
Yes, when we go inside the beautiful sanctuary, but it's just such a beautiful presence when you look at the outside of the church.
Absolutely. This is actually the second structure here. The first structure was destroyed in the tornado of 1911. When it hit the city square, it popped right over, sat on top of our church. That church was actually German Gothic, and so when they had to tear down the church, they actually worshiped at the Princess Theater just up the street where the New Pinnacle Bank is located, while they built this structure here.
And so the style of this building is...
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of German Gothic, and we'll point that out, and Greek Revival of that time. So in the around 1920s, of course this was built in 1914, Greek Revival was coming back, and we'll look at the columns and kind of point that out. But you'll see a little bit of both. A little bit of the German Gothic that was here in 1867 and what is now here, that the sanctuary was 1914.
Okay. This is bringing me back to art history class.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's
Come on
quite
in.
Interesting. So here we are in your beautiful sanctuary, and I'm dying to know, I think let's talk about these beautiful windows.
So the stained glass, the question was, were they part of the original 1867 sanctuary? And the answer to that is no. We know through old photographs that these were placed in the building when they built this structure in 1914. Now, the interesting thing about this building itself is that it wasn't designed by an architect. It was designed and built by a ship mason.
Okay.
So a ship mason, a guy who builds ship, is actually the person who designed this sanctuary and built this sanctuary. So if you look up, in the attic upstairs, and you walk in, which I will not take you up there.
Kind of want to go up there.
It looks like the bows of a ship. He actually just kind of reversed the plan and turned it upside down. So that's actually a false dome. Some people think it's the white dome that you see outside. It is not. It's a false dome, and it's actually a cylinder dome. So the white dome up top is connected to this dome through that cylinder.
What about these pews? Are they original?
The pews are original 1914. Interesting enough, if you go upstairs and look at those pews, those are actually the pews from the 1867 church. They're a little more ornate, probably because the craftsmanship, you had men who could do that work. In 1914, it was a little bit different, and so these are a little more simpler in style.
Mm-hmm. Well, we definitely will have to take a look
Absolutely.
at those
Yeah.
chairs. So we've got the dark wood, and these floors here, would they be original?
They're all
when it was
original.
rebuilt?
Absolutely. We just recovered the hardwood here. This used to be covered up with carpet, and I thought, how sad that you have beautiful hardwoods. Why would you want to cover it up with carpet? So we've kind of exposed this also, and it makes I think a better aesthetics to the church itself.
It's really beautiful. Throughout this tour, we have seen such gorgeous original wood in
Absolutely.
these homes.
Yeah.
And so it's just such a feeling of takes you back, kind of. I love it.
Absolutely. Now, a lot of people, when they come here, are fascinated by our Jack and Jill balconies that we have up here. People have asked what was their original purpose and why do we have them. We don't have an answer. Okay. What we do know, originally when this building was built in 1914, these were Sunday school rooms. And so because there wasn't central air and heat, we believe they were just used as ornate, but an ornate and practical way of allowing air to circulate into the building itself.
So, okay, this is beautiful, and your organ, of course. I know we want to hear about that.
Absolutely. I wish I could tell you more about the organ. It is, I think, the organ was purchased in the 1980s. So, of course, not the original 1914 organ. That would have been controlled by a coal bin where they would burn the coal to get the electricity in order to do the pump for the organ. But thank goodness for electricity that you can, again, use. But it's a beautiful organ. We have a great organist, Valerie Rain. She's actually just exceptional, and we are grateful she's here. Now, the interesting thing about the choir loft, when I first got here, our oldest member of the church was Mary Frances Brandon. She claims that she remembers the tornado of 1911. I don't know if that was true or not, but when they originally designed the choir loft, they only wanted to build a choir loft that would have 12 members. That's how many they had when the tornado hit. They just assumed that that's how many members they would have from here on out. But it was her father and a few other men who convinced the people designing the church that they needed a choir loft for the future. And so that's why we can hold up to about 40 members of our choir in the choir loft.
Well, it's beautiful. And again, everything is original. That's
absolutely
wonderful.
Everything is original. Now, a couple things that I love to point out. The first one is actually our communion table. This communion table was dedicated to Carter Bassett Harrison. Carter Bassett Harrison was actually a Union officer in the time of occupation. But they did not see this beautiful sanctuary. The other thing we will point out are our stained glass. They are original to the church, but that we later learned that they were a kind of a blueprint that is in other sanctuaries in the United States. So whoever sold us these stained glass apparently went all across the United States. And so we know that there are actually 6 different images of Christ. But apparently the Scottish Presbyterians decided they only wanted these 2, and that's what we have here.
Well, thank you so much for showing us around your beautiful sanctuary. And I've looked at this church, never been in, and so knowing that it has this rich history is really exciting.
Absolutely. And it is an amazing place to worship, and again, a deep connection to our city.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I know that anyone who sees this and wants to come in and check it out and worship, they are welcome.
Yeah, and we appreciate y'all coming by.
Thank you so much, and thank you for watching.